You are not that tough of a case. I know that you think you are. Trust me, I hear this every single time I talk to a new patient. Every single time someone calls me and they go over their case or they're interested in signing up and working with me, I hear, yeah, but I'm going to be your toughest case. Yeah, but I have so much going on. Now, let's break this down why you actually think this. And you hear me complain about this quite often in dealing with doctors and endocrinologists and even functional practitioners. They will say, well, you're normal, everything's fine. We'll just watch and see. We'll check it again in 3 to 6 months. And that is totally 100% incorrect. I will call them to the carpet each and every time. And when they're saying that to you, it literally is a form of that narcissistic trait of gaslighting. So we call it medical gaslighting. My dear friend Kieran Dunstan, Dr. Kieran Dunstan, termed that. I'm sure it's not brand spanking new, but she said it on the podcast where I interviewed her. And it really struck me because if you think about what gaslighting is, it's literally making that other person think that it's their problem or that they are crazy. Look up the term gaslighting and you will see. So when we're talking about medical gaslighting, it's basically your practitioner telling you that you are crazy and that there's nothing wrong with you whatsoever, and you actually believing it. And then you leave the office and you go, oh, man, then why do I have all these symptoms? Why do I feel like I'm going crazy? Why do I feel like there's something wrong? But I'm getting told that there's nothing wrong. That is not right whatsoever. So first of all, before we get into you're not that tough of a case, let's please remember that your symptoms are signs. They're signs given to you by your body as a gift. I know you might not think that they're a gift, but they really are a gift because it tells us, hey, there's something going on. What else do we need to look at? How much deeper do we need to dig here? So they're actually fantastic signs because they're nudging you to be awake and tune into your body and then go ahead and do something to find the answer as to what's causing those symptoms. So definitely look at them as a gift because they will lead you down a path to find true answers to totally change your health and change your life. You got to trust me on that one because I've already been there and walked in your shoes. I now look at that 20+ pound weight gain, incredible fatigue, and 6 misdiagnoses as a gift because it brought me here to you. And it brought me to a space where I can help other people, be it through education, through this podcast, through my Facebook Lives, through my YouTube videos, or through us working one-on-one together. So look at it as a gift, maybe after you get to the other side and actually lose the weight, feel better, and stop losing all your hair. But it is a gift. So you take that sign, you take that symptom, and you allow that to guide you. You allow that to lead you down an educational path, an inquisitive path where you continue looking for answers and gaining more knowledge for yourself. And doors will open up left and right, especially in the functional space. I'm kind of privy to that, right? In the functional space, you definitely get time from functional practitioners such as myself, and you normally find answers as long as that functional practitioner isn't just using the term functional for marketing and PR and actually went through functional training and took it to heart to change the way they look at you as a patient. But I digress. You're not that tough of a case because when I am sitting down with all of your labs, and this is why I love labs, labs tell us so much. And when you have someone that is really trained in reading labs and looking at the intricacies, not at whether or not there's an H or an L next to a lab value, but really looking at the details of how this lab ties into this and how this lab marker is low normal and it's completely tying back to your symptoms and explains why this marker is off and explains why this marker is off. And it's just this beautiful symphony with these labs that tells a practitioner like myself who's looking at them in depth, tells me what exactly is going on with you. And then we can educate you and teach you, hey, look, do you see this? Do you see that? Is it making sense now? Is it all coming together for you? Yes, that's awesome. Now we have a plan. Now we have a treatment plan. Now we have a direction to go, and that's amazing. So all of these labs give us detailed information and detailed guidance to guide you and guide me into proper treatment and reversal of all of the horrible symptoms that you're dealing with. So really, if we look at it, the reason why that you find yourself a tough case is simply because you've had no answers. You've been medically gaslit by one, if not more than one practitioner, doctor, MD, functional practitioner, XYZ. And you're truly believing that you are such a difficult case because you have hypothyroidism, or you had Grays and had your thyroid taken out, and now you had a hysterectomy and your hormones are off and nobody's doing anything, and they're telling you that you're normal, but you're gaining weight and you don't understand, and you had Lyme disease and you had Epstein-Barr virus, and you think, oh, I have all these things going on. That's nothing. That is nothing to me. That completely makes sense. I go, yeah, okay, I see that every day. Many of my functional practitioners that I work with see it every day. It's just another day. But you in your mind think that you're such a difficult case because no one has been able to help you. No one has listened to you. No one has asked those 4 important words, how do you feel? So because of that, you now have it ingrained in your mind that you're a tough case. And that's why I'm doing this little blurb, this little mini podcast together, to tell you that you're not, to tell you that you are not a tough case. So get it out of your head. Don't stay stuck. Don't stay where you are. Because if you do, and you accept what other doctors have told you, despite the fact that you have those signs and symptoms of your body screaming at you that something is wrong, despite that, you haven't moved out of your little space because you're sitting there believing that you're a tough case and believing that there's no help for you because nobody has an answer. Now think back, if I would have stopped at doctor number 1, which was my sister, if I would have believed her, and I don't fault her, I just make fun of her. I just poke fun at her. She's a geriatric doctor. I don't expect her to know the endocrine system. But that's of course where I went, because I'm like, hey, can we figure this out? You're my sister. Can you order some labs? What the hell's going on with me? So I started there. And again, to this day, I don't know. I don't know what she ordered. I don't know. It's so long ago. There's no records on it. But I would love to be able to go back and see. You want to bet money that was TSH only? Probably. So if I would have stopped at her, because she's my sister, if I would have stopped and been like, well, my sis knows best, I wouldn't be here. Actually, I would be here. Well, I would be here on this earth, not here with you. And I would be 200 pounds and bald and tired. So actually a client said this to me the other day. I wrote it down for you. She goes, I'm tired of being fat, fatigued, and foggy and effed up. Like, I like that. So I wrote it down. That's fantastic. Yeah. If you're tired of being fat, foggy, fatigued, and effed up, then it's time to do something about it. Because that feeling, those signs and symptoms are telling you it's time to move on. So now, what if I would have stopped at doctor number 2? What about number 3? How about 4? Because, you know, after 4, God, they must be right? I must be going crazy. Something's up. Maybe I need to eat less and exercise more. What if I stopped at number 5? What if I stopped at 6? And I figured, damn, it's 6 doctors later. For God's sake, I'm getting 6 answers that I'm normal and there's nothing wrong. What if I would have stopped? Just think about that. Now think of how many you visited, how many answers you have sought out, and think about stopping 2 doctors ago, or think about stopping now. Because if you stop now, you're going to stop and stay exactly where you are. Now, chances are things are going to get worse, because a thyroid not optimized, left unoptimized, is only going to spiral downward. An autoimmune attack on your thyroid is only going to move through the stages and move into stage 6, where we see multiple autoimmune conditions. insulin resistance ultimately turns into type 2 diabetes, full-blown type 2 diabetes. Type 2 diabetes turns into insulin-dependent diabetes, and uncontrolled diabetes turns into loss of fingers, toes, limbs, and eyesight. So where do you want to stay? Where do you want to be? Do you want to stay stuck where you are, thinking that you're a tough case, or do you want to trust me that you're not? I promise you it's going to be there in black and white. I promise you that. We can always figure it out. If you go back a few episodes to the case study that I did, where I go over a young woman's case where she went to doctor after doctor, the girl is obese. She is young, she is obese. And it is deeply troubling for her. It is very troubling for her family. There is not one doctor that she saw that looked at the fact that she is a full-blown type 2 diabetic, that her insulin is through the roof, higher than any insulin I have ever seen. She has the progesterone of a postmenopausal woman. Her reverse T3 is incredibly high, actually flagged high, and not one person stopped and paid attention. So of course, her and her family are struggling, and they're thinking that she is a tough case, quote unquote. And there it was in black and white. There it was in the labs, popping off the page. It was popping off the page as an answer. The answers are there. I promise you. You are not that tough of a case. I always tell you to have hope. I'm speaking hope again today. You have to have hope, but you got to get off your butt and move forward. Not accept you're normal, not accept you're fine, not accept you're just getting older. You'll have to live with this, eat less, exercise more. You don't accept it. And you keep going. You call me, you figure it out. There is an answer. I promise you that. And I'm hoping to keep you from 6 doctor visits and 6 misdiagnoses. But if you have to go through that to find the ultimate answer like I did, then go through it. Go on your journey, go through conventional medicine, try to get it covered by insurance. You'll get half-assed treatment, and then you'll come over to the real functional medicine side, the real functional practitioner side, not the person that's using it as a marketing scheme and looking at your TSH only and just giving you T4 and calling it a day. And they're going to fix your gut to heal your hormones and your thyroid. No, I'm sorry. If your T3 is low, maybe we got to look at your gut, but I ain't doing magic by fixing your gut. I'm just not. T3 is not going to magically appear in your system just by fixing your gut. So you might have to do some homework. You might have to go through some pain, growing pains, but you will grow and you will thrive, and you are not a tough case. I want you to take that home, get it ingrained, meditate on it, write it down. I want you all you write it down. I am not a tough case. I want you to put it on your phone, take a picture, make it your screensaver, and I want you to put it on your fridge. And that will get ingrained in your head, I promise you, to where you will not fall prey to thinking that you are a tough case, and you will move forward and you will get unstuck and you will push past everything that doctors have told you that you're normal and you're fine, and you will get an answer and you will get your life back. I promise you. All right. I love you all. Hang tight. Have hope. You do not give up.